Hello, everyone. I am now live to talk to you about a very pivotal time in our nation's history and in our nation that needs to be said. Um, when I heard that President Biden um, passed the torch to a phenomenal person, I was excited. I was overly excited. Given to the fact of this woman's experience, this woman's heart for America, this woman's place for America. And what's at stake here is reproductive rights. Our fundamental rights and our freedoms is what's at stake. And the reason why this election counts, and this reason why this election must matter to you and me, is because we're fighting for something that we should not be fighting for. But we have to fight for it because it matters. And we have to continue to fight for those rights because those rights is what matters for what matters. And what we're up against is between fear and democracy. That's what we're up against. We're up against fear and we're up against democracy. And we're up against a man who is so full of racism and hate and division and violence. The same man who created an insurrection during January 6th, the same man that told the Proud Boys organization to stand back and stand by, the same man that said black people are a problem and called us thugs, the same man that believed in and he has almost lost his life and still push an agenda to create extreme gun laws. This is the same man who wants to push us back. And what we must not do, and what we must be determined to do, and what we must be able to do in this pivotal time in our lives is to bring this country forward, is to honestly bring this country forward. Because what should not take place in this pivotal time and pivotal moment is us to go backwards. If you ever heard of a thing called Project 2025, this Project 2025 is an extreme view. Project 2025 is not only dangerous, but it's also a project that is focused on destroying and damaging American society. This man wants to damage this country, and this man wants to damage the future of America. And so when Vice President Harris decided to run for president, I said, wow, this is an amazing moment, not just because there's a black woman running, but because there's a person who's running for the focus of the values of the American people. This is the same woman who prosecuted the same people who decided to destroy this country. This is the same woman who stood up to Trump, who stood up to his allies, who stood up to the people who wanted to take this country down. Why in the world should we not go out and vote for a person that wants to protect democracy, that wants to protect this country, who wants to prevent us from going backwards? We need to understand that what's at stake here. We need to understand. We need to get people registered to vote. We need to get people outside and ready to vote for a person that wants to save and establish and keep democracy going. Trump promised day one that he wants to be a dictator simply because of how his mind is. This man is a psychopath. You have to understand this man does not care about you. He doesn't care about America. He doesn't care about what we are on. He does not care about you. And what you need to understand, this election is very pivotal, not because there's a black woman running. It's pivotal because this is about our lives. This is about our future. This is about the next generation. This is about our generation passing the torch to understand that there is better coming. This is about our generation believing that we can prevent a future that is better for our children. This is about knowing that we can protect, defend, and preserve our nation's democracy. This is what's at stake here. This is what's at stake. And this is what I want you to understand. This is what I want you to understand. What's at stake? What's at stake is our nation's democracy. Remember January 6th, when Trump decided to have a pissy fit and destroy and demolish our nation's democracy? The hush money? Convicted as a felon? Why the hell do I want a president that is a convicted felon? Who believes in his head that he can do whatever the hell he wants, that he's above the law? My passion for politics happened when I saw Vice President Harris go after him. I believe that if a black woman can do it, I can do it too. And the reason why this election is very, very pivotal and very pivotal. It's simply not. Let me say this again. It's not about a black woman being on the ticket. I mean, it's not about a black woman running on the major party, but it's simply about. But it is simply about knowing the fact there is a black woman running change to society, fundamental change to society. However, um, we must understand that we have a moral obligation to do what is right and to fight for what is right and to believe what is right. We have a moral obligation, and we must have the courage to defeat Donald Trump, and we must defeat him in this election because this man is running to destroy, to demolish America, and what we cannot allow ourselves to go backward in time. We cannot go backwards. We cannot allow a man to determine what this country should do because this man has lost sight in himself, is losing his entire mind in knowing and thinking that it is okay to destroy America. America is the strongest country, the strongest superpower around this globe. We are better than this. And we should not want to go backwards. We should not be able to live in a world where people continue to die effortlessly by police officers. I know you heard about Sonia Massey. She lost her life today. Lost her life because she was a black woman. Black, period. These are the things I'm talking about. Under a Trump presidency, that would have not been mentioned at all. And what I want you to understand is that our vote and our voice must count in this election. I beg you, it must count in this election simply because we are on the face and we are on the brink of preserving our nation's democracy. And it matters. It really does. It matters. And what should matter to you and I is preserving it. That's what should matter. Because what we're up against now, it's not going to be more harsher if we lose this election. I'm telling you now, if we have another Trump presidency, we will experience a 4-year journey to hell. And we cannot afford to sit this election out. Can't afford it. We just can't. We cannot afford to sit this election out. We cannot afford to sit this election out. Because this election, it really does matter. And this election matters simply because this is about preserving our nation. Request to join. When I heard that Vice President Harris was running for president, I threw my endorsement in simply because, not just because she's a black woman, but because I believe that we can push this country forward. I believe that this country can go forward in many, many ways and aspects.
But Darian, what's going on, man?
I'm good.
It's been a minute. I want to know. I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the VP pick and why?
I haven't decided. I don't know who's going to be the VP pick, but I know it can't be a black man or a black woman.
I think it's got to be a straight white dude.
It has to be a straight white man in order for her to win. Because
I'm with you on that.
It has to be a straight. Unfortunately, it has to be a white man. It has
what
to
do
be.
You think about Shapiro? Shapiro's my guy. He's my
governor.
Yeah,
Josh Shapiro. I see a Shapiro Harris ticket. I see that. I see a Harris and Shapiro ticket. simply because um, the only way for her to win this election is picking a white woman. I mean, white man.
A white woman.
A white man. Excuse me. A white
Okay,
man. A white man. Yeah,
women take it.
yeah. This country is not ready for both women to run on the same ticket. So the only way for her to win is to most likely the only way for her to win is to most likely pick a white man, and that's unfortunate, but that's the state that we're in. Um, so the reason why I tell my college friends to rally around Kamala Harris, it's not just because she's a black woman. It's simply because we have no other choice but to vote for her. Um, if we study Project 2025 and what's occurring at this moment, I know you heard about Project 2025. Hey, Connor, I know you heard about Project 2025. It's very dangerous. Most likely, people are not going to vote for it in Congress, so it may not even, it's too extreme. So I wouldn't see all of it going through. But
well, a lot of it doesn't even need Congress.
Yeah,
it's the executive branch.
Yeah, a lot of it's not going to need it because they're going to do whatever the hell they please. But I really honestly think that if you want to see fundamental change, she has to pick a white man. She has to campaign hard. It's only 106 days. And sadly, Joe Biden has to leave. Um, so I can say that when Joe Biden wrote the letter, we were pretty much all upset around here in the school. We were pretty much pissed off the whole entire time. So, and I had to convince them and tell them and persuade them the fact that the man needed some rest. And what he did was right. And what he wanted to do was to pass the torch because he knew that he was going to lose this election. We all knew it. We all knew it was coming. So the only option now, and I've never seen as much men rally around a woman before in my life, especially Hillary. Men did not rally around Hillary at all, especially black men. Black men is not rally. I've never seen as much black men rally around a black woman before in my life at all. I've never seen it before in my life. It's completely odd. So I actually see
that's not something for me to speak to really, but I just know Biden did very well among that demographic. But in the polling, his lead with those